The mimosa tree, nature's beauty in full bloom. Today we're talking about one of the most beautiful, useful, and overlooked trees in the South, the mimosa tree. If you've ever driven down a country road in late spring or early summer and seen a tree covered in soft pink, powder puff flowers that seem almost unreal, chances are you've already met mimosa. A lot of people see it as just another ornamental tree, maybe even a roadside nuisance, but this plant has a long history of traditional use, especially for supporting the nervous system, calming the mind, and helping people feel more balanced emotionally. And that's what makes mimosa so interesting, because behind those delicate flowers is a plant with a serious reputation in herbal medicine. It's been used for centuries in traditional systems of healing, and today it's gaining more attention from herbalists, foragers, and natural health practitioners who are looking for plants that support mood, ease tension, and help restore a sense of peace. In this video, we're going to go deep into mimosa. We'll talk about how to identify it, where it grows, what parts are used, how people prepare it, what its traditional health benefits are, what the research says, and how to grow it if you decide you want to add it to your own landscape. Let's start with identification. Mimosa, also known as silk tree, is commonly known by its scientific name Albizia Julibrissin. It belongs to the bean family, which makes sense once you start studying it, because the leaves, flowers, and seed pods all fit that family pattern. One of the easiest ways to recognize mimosa is by its unique foliage. The leaves are bipinnately compound, which means each leaf is divided into many smaller leaflets arranged along secondary stems. That gives the tree a soft, feathery, almost fern-like appearance. Then come the flowers, and this is where mimosa really stands out. The blooms are pink and fluffy, almost like little fireworks or powder puffs sitting at the ends of the branches. They usually show up in late spring and can last into the summer depending on your region. Even from a distance, the tree is easy to spot when it's in bloom. It has a kind of dreamy, tropical look that makes people stop and stare. After the flowers fade, long flat seed pods begin to form. Those pods are another important clue for identification, especially later in the season when the flowers are gone. So if you learn to recognize the feathery leaves, pink pom-pom flowers, and long seed pods, you'll be able to spot mimosa with a fair amount of confidence. Where does it grow? Mimosa is not a picky tree. In fact, one reason it spreads so widely is because it can tolerate a lot of different conditions. It does best in warm climates and is commonly grown in USDA zones 6 through 9, sometimes even a bit beyond that depending on the source and local conditions. It likes full sun, well-drained soil, and it can handle poor soil better than many other trees. That resilience is part of its charm, but also part of the problem. Mimosa spreads easily, and in some areas it's considered invasive. You'll often find it along roadsides, in open fields, in disturbed ground, and around old homesteads. It was planted widely as an ornamental because it's fast-growing and beautiful, but once it gets established, it can reseed aggressively. So while it's a useful plant, it also deserves respect from a land management standpoint. If you're growing it intentionally, that's something to think about. What makes mimosa so valuable? Traditionally, mimosa has been used to support emotional wellness. It's one of those herbs people turn to when they feel overwhelmed, tense, stressed out, emotionally heavy, or mentally drained. In traditional Chinese medicine, the bark and flowers have been used for what is often described as calming the spirit, lifting the mood, and restoring emotional harmony. That's an old idea, but it still resonates today. A lot of people live with stress that doesn't go away. Some of it is physical, some of it is emotional, and some of it gets stored in the body as tension, fatigue, and restlessness. Mimosa is often talked about as a plant that helps with exactly that kind of burden. It's commonly associated with calming anxiety, supporting sleep, easing sadness, and helping people recover their sense of lightness and emotional balance. In herbal language, mimosa is often described as an adaptogen, which means it may help the body better handle stress. It's also thought of as nervine, meaning it supports the nervous system, and some herbalists consider it both uplifting and grounding depending on which part of the plant is used. That distinction matters. The flowers and bark are both used, but they are not always described in exactly the same way. The flowers are often said to feel more immediately uplifting, almost like a gentle emotional lift that brings brightness and lightness. The bark, on the other hand, is often described as more grounded, deeper, and more steady over time. Some herbalists feel the bark works more slowly, but in a more profound way. That difference makes mimosa especially interesting as a medicinal plant because it offers nuance rather than just one simple effect. It's also one of the reasons herbalists value it for people who are under long-term stress or emotional strain. Some practitioners use it when working with grief, nervous exhaustion, insomnia, irritability, or even trauma-related emotional tension. It's not a cure-all, and it's certainly not something to romanticize, but it does have a reputation as a deeply supportive plant. Let's talk about the science. Modern research has taken an interest in Albizia julibrissin and related species, especially in relation to mood and nervous system support. Reviews of the genus Albizia report traditional uses for depression, insomnia, anxiety, cough, wounds, stomach problems, and more. Some preclinical studies suggest antidepressant-like, anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory, and neuroprotective activity. That said, it's important to be honest here. Most of the evidence is still early stage, and much of it comes from laboratory or animal studies rather than large human clinical trials. So while mimosa has a strong traditional reputation and promising research signals, it should still be viewed as an herbal ally rather than a proven pharmaceutical replacement. That kind of balanced view is important in herbal medicine. How do you use it? The most commonly used parts are the flowers and the bark. Some herbal sources may refer more broadly to the stem bark, while others focus on the flowers in traditional preparations. The bark is often the part used for teas and decoctions, while flowers may also be used on their own or combined with the bark for a more complete preparation. If you're harvesting, you want to be respectful and careful. Only take from trees you can positively identify, and make sure you're harvesting from a clean area away from roadsides with heavy traffic or pollution. Bark harvesting should always be done sparingly, so you don't damage the tree unnecessarily. One of the most common ways to prepare mimosa bark is as a decoction. That's just a strong tea made by simmering the bark in water for a period of time. The flowers can also be used in herbal preparations. Since they're softer than bark, they can be prepared more gently. In traditional herbalism, flowers are often made into teas, infusions, or mixed into formulas with other calming herbs. Another common method is a tincture, which is an alcohol extract. A tincture can be useful if you want something more concentrated and shelf-stable. Let's talk about growing it. If you want to grow mimosa, the good news is that it's easy to get established. It prefers full sun and well-drained soil, and it can tolerate drought once mature. It grows quickly, which is one reason it became so popular as an ornamental tree in the first place. The downside of that fast growth is that the wood can be somewhat weak, and branches may break in wind or storms. So, if you're planting one, choose the location carefully. Give it room to spread, and don't plant it too close to structures or places where falling limbs would be a problem. Mimosa can be propagated from seed, and it often self-seeds readily once established. That can be helpful if you want more trees, but it can also become a nuisance if you're trying to control its spread. Look at mimosa. What do you see? You see a tree that's visually stunning, ecologically aggressive in some settings, deeply rooted in traditional medicine, and increasingly interesting to modern herbalists. You see a plant that can be used for tea, tincture, and emotional support. You see bark, flowers, seed pods, and feathery leaves all playing a role in identification and use. And you see a tree that reminds us that nature doesn't always announce its value loudly. Sometimes the most overlooked plants are the ones with the most to teach us. If you're walking through the South and you see a tree covered in pink puffball blooms, don't just pass it by. Stop and look. Learn its shape. Learn its smell. Learn its leaves. Learn what it has been used for. Because plants like mimosa connect us not just to medicine, but to history, to memory, and to the living landscape around us. And that's what herbalism is really about. It's not just about making tea. It's about paying attention. It's about recognizing that something growing beside the road may have supported people for generations before us. It's about remembering that medicine can come in the form of a flower, a leaf, a bark, or a tree that has stood quietly in the same place for years, waiting for someone to notice. Thank you for joining us for practical herbal education, plant growing tips, and natural remedy ideas. Please hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and share with someone who enjoys herbs and gardening as much as we do. And if you enjoyed this video and want more like it, please comment below. I would love to hear from you. Share your tips on how you use herbs in your everyday life.